All right, here we go. So today's date is 4/4/5/17/21. Now, what I taught you right before you took the map test was volume, but just of a rectangular prism. So here's how you draw a 3D rectangle. It's right there. With a basic rectangle, then I go 2 over and 2 up, 2 over and 2 up. Then I connect these two, connect top, top. So that's how I okay. Length, width, height. So volume of a rectangular prism is length times width times height. So if you have a rectangular prism, that's the easiest one. It's length times width times height. What kids don't realize, and we'll speed it up a little bit here, what kids don't realize is this part length times width. So if I have a rectangle and I multiply the length times the width, what are we solving for if it's just a rectangle, a 2D rectangle, and I multiply length times width? Does anybody recognize that formula? What do you get when you multiply length times width? Yeah, so this is area. So when you're doing volume, what you don't realize is that you're really doing the area of the shape of the rectangle and then multiplying by the height. That's an area. Oh, that's even worse. A-R-E-A. Sorry, I was trying to spell out area, but it kind of got messed up right there. So to find the volume of a rectangular prism, you do the area of the rectangle and then multiply it by the height. Okay? Why do I talk about area when we're doing volume? Well, let's do a harder figure because rectangular prism are pretty easy. Let's do a triangular prism. So we're going to start off with a triangle. Here's my triangle. Now we're going to do, we're going to make it 3D. So I kind of do like a diagonal, like so. And then kind of another diagonal going down, the same like angle as this one. So this and this line are about the same. And then I connect it. So this is a triangular prism. It kind of looks like a tent to me. Kind of looks like a tent. All right. So in a triangular prism, the volume is equal to base times height divided by 2 times the big H. So this is your big H, the height of the triangle. Like imagine this, like standing up, like this, nice and tall, like a triangle, like a triangular building, like a weird shaped building. I just can't draw it going up, so it's like on its belly. It's like laying down, like my pen. It's supposed to go straight up, but I can't draw it. So this is the height. Now of your triangle, this is your base, and inside of it is your height. So this is your base and your height, and this is your big height. So base times height, and then your big height. So there's 2 heights when we talk about a triangular prism. What this part is, does anybody recognize this part? Base times height divided by 2. Well, the base times height divided by 2 is the area of your triangle. So again, this part is the area of your triangle, and then all you have to do is multiply by the height. So volume is that. Volume is, what shape are we talking about? Oh, we're talking about a triangular triangle prism, which means it's 3D. Oh, okay. So I'm going to take the area of whatever the base is, which is the triangle, whatever the base shape is. Here it's a triangle. So I'm going to find the area of the triangle and then multiply it by the big height. Okay, so whenever you're doing volume, instead of memorizing all these different formulas, you can just remember, okay, I gotta take the area of the base shape, here it's a triangle, and multiply by the height. Because they're gonna get complicated. And if you kind of simplify it that way, it is helpful sometimes. What was I gonna do? There is another way of writing this that might be less confusing for students. I taught it one way second period and a different way third period, and third period definitely did a lot less mistakes. I wrote it out like this for them. I did base times your little height times your big height, all divided by 2. So I found that students made less mistakes if they divided by 2 at the end. So if you multiply the 3 numbers, then divide by 2, you still get the same answer. A lot of my students here, they did base times height divided by 2, but they messed this up somehow. So if you write it as base times height divided by 2, students tend to do less mistakes this way. I wrote it this way so you can see that, oh, look, it's the area part. All right. This also works for a triangular prism that starts off with a right triangle, like this. So it also works for a right triangle that is 3-dimensional, right? So let's do an actual problem. So I'm going to do, let's say this is 10, 8, 9. So this 9 is my base. This is my height because it makes it 90 degrees. And then this is my big height. So all you do for volume is just plug it in. 9 times 8 times 10, all divided by 2. So let's see, 72 times 2 is 720, divided by 2. 360. So volume is equal to 360. Now, if this was inches, it would be inches cubed. Okay, when we're doing volume, it is considered inches cubed. Inches cubed. Are we okay? Let's do one with the traditional triangle. It's okay if you can't draw them, like it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. All right. So let's say this is 12 centimeters. This is 5 centimeters. And this is 7 centimeters. The way they trick you is they'll give you like way too many numbers. Like they'll put numbers like here on the side. And it's like, no, I need the number that makes the 90 degrees. So none of these 2 blue lines make 90 degrees. It has to be the interior one that makes a nice perfect 90 degrees with the base. That's how they trick you. So volume is equal to my base of 5 times my height of 7 times my big height of 12, all divided by 2. All divided by 2. Totally going to use a calculator. 35 times 12 divided by 2. So my volume is just equal to 210 centimeters cubed because it is volume. So with volume, we cube. With volume, we cube. Any questions on that one, this part? before we move on to the next shape? All right, so cylinder. Okay, so a cylinder is like a can. So I do like an oval shape, and then I do 2 parallel lines, and then I close up with like a semicircle. If you want to dot it, create an oval again. So here's your cylinder. It's like a can or like a cup. Here's a cylinder. All right, give me 1 second. Resume. Okay, so how do I find the area of a volume of a cylinder? Sorry, how do I find the volume of a cylinder? Well, volume is equal to what I just taught you like 5 minutes ago. Volume is equal to the area of the...
You're not sharing your screen.
Oh, sorry, my bad. It's because I left and then I came back. Where are you guys at? Let's see. And then you guys disappeared. Where's my Zoom? There it is. Move this around. Thank you very much. It's because I came back. I went to go ask something to the guys who are taking the test. All right, we're ready? We're good? Okay, so cylinder. Volume is equal to the area of the shape. So what shape are we talking about? What 2D shape is involved here? The 2D shape that's involved here is a circle. So basically you took a circle and you made a 3D, then it's called a cylinder. You see, this is why math is so easy. You took a circle, you made a 3D, now we call it a cylinder. So how do you find the area of a circle? Okay, the area of a circle is pi r squared. And all you have to do in order to find volume is do the area of the shape times the big height. That's it. So this part is the area of the circle, which you learned like a couple weeks ago. And we took some time on this. So pi r squared is the area of the circle, and all you have to do is multiply by the height. So this would be considered the height of the cylinder, and then you would need the radius. So of any shape, you can find the volume if you know the 2D shape it came out of. So the 2D shape here would be a circle. So you find the area of the circle and just multiply it by the height. Multiply it by the height. Okay? So let's try doing one mathematically. Chloe, can you access the test? Can you work on the test? Is the test working for you, Chloe? Okay, try it again, Chloe, please. Close it and then open it again with the link. Okay, so we're going to do volume is equal to pi times my radius, which is 3, squared times my height of 11. So, and pi is 3.14 times 3 squared is 9 times 11. All right, time for those calculators. 100%. No doubt about it. 99 times 3.14. So my volume is equal to 310.86 inches cubed. You will 100% be doing this again when you hit geometry. You will be doing volume cylinders, and then they get harder. Like there's a volume of a cone, there's a volume of like these weird shapes that I don't want to go over with you. But in 7th grade, if you know the volume of a rectangular prism, a triangular prism, and a cylinder, you're in perfect shape. Those are the 3 that we need you to go into 8th grade and geometry knowing. Then I think in 8th grade, you'll learn about the cone, which is awesome. But right now, we'll stick to these. All right, let's do another cylinder one. I like drawing cylinders. All right, so here I'm trying to trick you. I want to know what radius is. I gave you a diameter of 12, but you got to convert the diameter of 12 into a radius. So if the diameter is 12, the radius would be 6. So make sure you're using 6 in our formula of pi r squared times your big height. So I'll give you guys 30 seconds head start on that. And remember, 6 squared is so not 12. 6 squared is not 12. Please do not use 12. It is 36. Ooh. Volume is equal to 1,808.64 centimeters cubed. So again, volume is how much liquid, how much stuff can fit in an object. So for example, like a cup would be like how much juice can I fit in here, how much water, that would be the volume. So yeah, volume. Any questions on volume? So just kind of went a little bit slower. The rectangular prisms, I didn't give you any examples because you just multiply length times width times height. It's pretty straightforward. There's no divide by 2. For triangular prism, yes, there is a divide by 2, so do not forget to divide by 2 when it's a triangle, not when it's a rectangle. A rectangle, just multiply the 3 numbers and you're done. Triangular, yes, divide by 2. Divide by 2. Cylinder, yeah, it's a whole different thing. Cylinder is completely different. Just completely different whatsoever. 100% super different. But remember, when you're solving for volume, it's all about what is the shape, the 2D shape, find the area, then multiply by the height. And that's it. All right. Awesome.